We will start with the latest in the Israel-Hamas war. Israeli troops have ordered the evacuation of Al-Shifa hospital. They have given a 1-hour ultimatum for the evacuation, which is about to end soon. Al-Shifa, Gaza's biggest hospital, has become the focus of the Israel-Hamas war. Israel claims Hamas operates a base underneath Al-Shifa, a charge the militants deny. The United Nations estimated 2,300 patients, staff and displaced Palestinians were sheltering at Al-Shifa before Israeli troops raided on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Israel's ex-Prime Minister Ehud Olmert has said that war will go on and the end game is to end Hamas. He has claimed that Hamas's underground command center is not in Al-Shifa hospital, but is based in Khan Yunis, a city in the southern of Gaza. Israel's offensive has extended to the south of Gaza. Israel says Hamas exists in the south. At least 26 people have been reportedly killed in a strike on a residential building in the southern Gaza Strip's Khan Yunis region. As per a hospital director in the region, facility had received 26 dead bodies and 23 people with serious injuries after the strike. The IDF has released a video showing RPGs, mortar shells and other weapons they found inside a kindergarten and an elementary school in northern Gaza. Residents are attempting to flee to southern Gaza in large numbers. On your screens are satellite images that depict the unprecedented scale of the exodus. These images indicate a more dire phase in the war. Meanwhile, Israeli strikes continue to hit civilian infrastructure. These include refugee camps. Displaced Gazans are in agony as they have nowhere to go.
أعرفك عن حالي لا مبالاة في التعريف زي مواطن من هالبني آدمين اللي هجوا من الجنوب طلبوا من سكان غزة من احنا من أهل المواطنين من غزة قالوا تفضلوا على الجنوب تفضلنا على الجنوب هلقيت طلب يقول تعالوا الجنوب ارحلوا وين نروح احنا بدنا نفهم احنا وين رايحين بالضبط ما حدش فاهم ايش الدنيا الحكام العرب الدنيا الحياة بطل في حاجة حدا نفهمها بالمرة ايش فيه.
John Entwistle is the head of the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Society's delegation to Palestine. Is now joining us from Ramallah. Mr. John, welcome to WION The World is One.
Good afternoon, Eric. Thank you for giving me the time.
Now, there is panic at the Al-Shifa hospital as we speak because doctors inside say they have been given an hour to evacuate. What's your plea as the Red Cross or even the Red Crescent to the Israeli government?
Our simple plea to all parties to the conflict is that hospitals, medical missions, doctors, staff and nurses have to be protected. They have to be allowed to do their job, to serve the people who are sick, who are wounded and need urgent medical attention. And they need drugs, they need medical equipment, medical supplies and fuel to run the hospitals.
Mr. John, where are they supposed to go? Because now they've been given this ultimatum to leave the hospital, especially the critical patients. Which hospitals will they be transferred to and where are they guaranteed safety?
The reality is there is no safe space in Gaza. There is an ongoing conflict. There is daily bombardment. The fighting is very intense. And so there is absolutely no safe place in Gaza. Patients, doctors should be allowed to remain in hospitals, be given the resources that they need to treat patients and be given the protection that they can remain safe in those hospitals to do the job that they need to do.
Mr. John, the Israeli forces now say that Al-Quds and Rantisi hospitals are where the Hamas has been operating underground and not Al-Shifa. As the Red Cross Society, have you been able to quantify the allegations or even claims made by Israel of underground operations by Hamas?
The hospitals of the Palestine Red Crescent Society in Gaza are used for humanitarian purposes. They have been working around the clock since the conflict started. Earlier this week, Al-Quds Hospital had to be evacuated and the staff and patients moved south. There, they've working in their hospital at Al-Amal, but again, this is without the necessary supplies and equipment. Hospitals should be left and protected for doctors and nurses to be able to do the job that they need to do. No military operations from any party to the conflict should ever be undertaken in a hospital.
Mr. John, finally, what is the need of the hour for the doctors in the Gaza Strip?
Fuel. There must be more fuel coming into the Gaza Strip. This is critical to transport humanitarian aid to the north and to other places in Gaza. It's critical to run the necessary infrastructure like electricity for the equipment in the hospitals, for the water treatment plants, for the sewage treatment plants, even for the bakeries to produce a simple item such as bread. Humanitarian aid needs to get into Gaza, it needs to increase, and it needs to happen now.
Mr. John, I know I say it finally, but just a quick one from you. Now that this order has been given by the Israeli troops to the Al-Shifa hospital to evacuate, what will you tell them, the troops, at this hour?
To all parties of the conflict, hospitals, medical missions, staff and volunteers must be protected.
I've been talking to John Entwistle, is the head of the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Society's delegation to Palestine. Mr. John, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.